All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Maria's Angelic Enlightenment. Actually, that's the name of my business, and it is based in Waverly, Iowa, but I work all over the world, virtually like this, as well as by phone, doing angel readings for people over the phone, soul coaching, life coaching. I have a beautiful office in Waverly, Iowa, but I also am able to connect with you, as I said, over the phone or even over Zoom. So welcome to Sacred Circle with Maria. This has been a class that I have offered for over 2.5 years. And if it's the first time here, welcome. Oops, if it's your first time here and you're not muted, do you mind muting yourself? I think Mary Braden's not muted. I'll mute you from here. I heard somebody coughing. Okay, so if it's your first time here, make sure you're muted so that everyone can have a pleasant experience. Again, this is Sacred Circle with Maria. It's December 5th of 2018. I'm excited to be here. We're going to be talking about angel dreams or messages from angels through dream guidance and today. And I'm going to touch a little bit on a few other pieces of things that are coming up in my life that you can be involved with as well. But if we can start with a prayer, let's take a deep breath, everyone, and let out stress and center yourself. Allow yourself these few minutes of just peace. Beautiful Lord, sweet angels, Holy Spirit, we welcome you into our circle this morning. We ask that your light, Lord, will fill us and guide us. We ask that guidance becomes who we are and that we live our lives through the alignment of the true essence of the reasons why we've been here, why we have come, that we remember them, that we are called forward through the guidance of your light, your love, your essence, aligning, matching with us, settling in. We are open, Lord, and we call your angels to surround us wherever we might be in the world, to support this time of learning, and from this day forward, a time of continued growth and communication with you and the angels. We ask for peace and healing and light, alignment, vibrational frequency shifts that support awakening our spiritual journey. And Lord, we are grateful for our health, any wealth that we are growing. We contribute to you and all the service opportunities that we have to love and care for one another in all that you do for us and all that we are. Amen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me this morning. I want to let you know that there's a couple of ways that you can connect with me, not just through class, but Angelic Lightworkers, Angelic, and then light dash workers is our Facebook page where myself and a very beautiful colleague, Kimberly, manage that page, and we take prayer requests there, and we take opportunities, for us light workers to share in joys or in troubles, or even questions that maybe you may have that you can't always ask just anybody. But you know that other people working in the light, which there are 6 billion of us on the planet, people working in the light, some of us are just learning about the light, and the idea of the light is really the God's source, the Creator's intention for us to really bring more love onto the planet. So the awakening is about that. The awareness is about that. Anything that you do and are, the service that we find ourselves being guided to, the healing work that people are doing, the writing people are doing, the artwork that people are doing, the intentional environmental support that people are doing, the guidance in taking better care of our health, the eliminating of poisons in our world, in toxins in our world, both in what we hear and what we take into the body and food. All of this is a shift to really being much more organic in nature and supporting the process of the planet to ascend. And the frequency of love is one of the most important frequencies available to us, and want to go into that space of love as often as possible. That space of love in your heart, even if you're feeling a little bit sad, look at something that you love and embrace that for several minutes a day. 51% of the time you want to be in a space of higher vibration. The higher vibration just means that you are not in a place of despair or depression or anger or frustration, that you shift out of that as quickly as you can, 51% of the time, into maybe willingness and courage and acceptance and love frequency. And it's like how you feel about yourself first. How you feel about yourself first. Feeling love for yourself begins in the morning when you take a deep breath and you say a prayer. Loving yourself first is that you fed yourself today, that you're watering yourself today, that you clothed yourself today. This is love. And then you take care of an animal, and that is love. A child, and that is love. Your husband, your wife, that is love. You take care of the financial obligations. This is love. It is the way that the human works in expressing love through service and through deeds and through kind words and through gestures. And we want to be in a higher frequency more often. And that helps everyone to shift. Do we get mad? Do we get frustrated with each other? Yes, we do. That is normal human condition. And we don't have to demand that everybody sees things our way, or we don't have to demand that everyone does things our way, joins the same clubs, goes to the same restaurants, eats the same food. It doesn't matter. Each individual is guided. But love for self means that you listen to your own guidance and you follow that guidance for the highest good of all involved. If your body is out of alignment, then sometimes that looks to you like an illness. If your body is in illness or is not balanced, then seeking a light worker or a healer can really help you to shift. Light work and healing work is not invasive to the body. Light work and healing work is not invasive to the mind. It may shift and change prior limiting beliefs, but the limiting beliefs simply are, again, exactly that, a limit that says that you're not able to or you cannot do something that you've been dreaming about doing. So energy frequency is the most important aspect every day that you begin with. A sense of love for self. And if you cannot love yourself in that instant, love your room, love your bed, love the fact that you got, several hours of sleep or maybe a really great night's sleep. Love that you are alive this morning. Anything that you can spin in a positive way is going to create more positivity in your life and in your frequency and in every cell of your body. I cannot explain this more clearly other than what you think today creates tomorrow, and what you emotionally feel begins to manifest. And so as we are feeling much more courageous, much more accepting, much more willing, much more love, much more joy, more enlightenment, then we will create more of that in our life. We still have bills to pay. We still have to wash the dishes. We still have, garbage to pick up. But 51% of the time, you want to be in a positive mindset about those activities. Now, communicating with angels, there are many ways that we can communicate with angels, many ways that we can communicate with the frequency of angelic energy, which is a high energy that supports communication at a higher level of awareness. It's not magical. It happens regularly. We get inspiration and insights through our dreams, through our interactions with one another, through maybe opening a book or seeing a sign. We get all kinds of messages all day long. We have been guided gently to do the right thing. And the right thing is what is right for you, what feels right for you, what is in alignment with your truth. And that is the best guidance system that exists for you. What feels good for me? Even an animal knows the right people to gravitate towards because there's a frequency there that they are attuned to. The right location to gravitate towards. Animals know this instinctively, and you, human animals, also know. But often we let our mind change that and redirect us. As usual, the angels are working with me to teach you this morning. I love that the channel comes in and opens. I do believe we are supposed to speak about how dreams can be a way to listen and hear and interpret guidance. When we are in our dream state, when we are sleeping, our subconscious mind is more awakened. And our conscious mind, the mind that blocks us sometimes from really hearing our truth and really aligning with what is true for us, the one that says, the logical mind, we call it sometimes, which there's nothing wrong with logic, but it can be a limiting belief. Like logic can say you have to be a good girl, a good boy. Logic will say a good girl and good boy would let their brother have the treat. A good girl and good boy would let their friend have the toy. And that's a limiting belief that we were taught, the good girl and good boy. Well, any good person is going to share. So you're not going to let them have it, you're going to share. And sharing feels a little better, especially if you're out of, the 2 and 3 year old stage. You understand this idea as we get to be 5, 6, 7, that sharing can be a good thing because they have a pile of toys and you have a pile of toys and we're going to share these. And that feels right. It doesn't have to be about sacrifice. The good woman, the good man is going to sacrifice their sleep so that they can watch vigil over their child who is sick or who is scared. Well, let's share sleep. Why don't we sleep together so that I can be with that child, and if they awaken, I'm there. So limiting belief says there's a rule, and then we must follow that rule. In order for us to be happy, we have to give away everything we have. You have to be a pauper. Now we know that's not true because happiness is not really about things at all. Happiness is in our own heart, in our soul, a reality of we feel good. And feeling good has been actually documented and studied as more people feel good about sharing an experience, about doing a service, about giving something to another person than they do about sacrificing their time, their energy. That does not cause happiness. Happiness doesn't mean that we have to have more money. In studies, it regularly people have been shown they feel much better after they have shared a $5 gift certificate with a friend and shared coffee with them than if they earned that $100 in that hour. They will feel more joyful because they spent the $5 and an hour with a friend than if they earned $100 in that hour. That $100 didn't bring them happiness, but perhaps the service they were doing to another did. So it wasn't about the money, it was about the service. So happiness is a state of being in a service more often than not. Studies done at some of our more prestigious universities, such as Yale and Harvard, they have been teaching happiness classes there because so many of their students have struggled with depression because they thought that happiness meant that they have to earn a grade. They have to earn an A+. They have to earn the highest grade. They have to be top of their class. And when you're already coming to an institution like that, you're the top of your class in your high school, but you come to an institution like that where everybody's the cream, it's really hard to find happiness in a grade. So they started to study these concepts and realize that students needed to involve themselves in service, in moments of quiet, in time with another person where they're exchanging a valuable moment or experience or journey together, doing something, being present with someone. Intrinsically, people felt more joy simply in connecting. So we want to do more happiness things in our lives, and that's part of the Lightworker's way, is service. It's part of the awakening to the new earth, is service. And you can get guidance regularly in many ways, but sometimes you may get guidance through a dream and you don't understand it. So let's go back to this idea of, a dream. When we are sleeping, our subconscious mind is much more open. And the subconscious mind is able to, without the resistance of the logical mind, without the resistance of the ego, without the resistance of the conscious mind, the subconscious mind is more free. It's more open, is more available, and it's unlimited because the subconscious mind truly is a gateway to connecting with your truth, with Creator. And again, when we create, we are doing exactly what we were meant to do. When you create anything, when you've created a new work environment for yourself, when you are excited about writing something, drawing something, cooking something, a new baby, creating a home, creation is also a form of happiness and inspiration. And God guides us through our creative instincts and through the angels. And many times we gain inspiration through dream time activity. So when your subconscious mind is more open, you may receive guidance and messages. One of the most beautiful places to receive guidance from loved ones that have made a transition is in dream time. So often in sessions with others, with clients, they say, I had a dream where I saw my loved one, and they were really beautiful. I had a dream where I felt my loved one, and we had a real hug. I had a dream where my loved one came to me and said, I'm all right. And you're all right too. It's all good. It's all meant to be. There are so many stories about dream visitations from loved ones. And then there are those that are frustrated. Why aren't I getting those? How come they got them and I didn't? Well, your attitude could turn off the dream. Your insistence on having one actually can make that more difficult. One of the best ways is just to allow, is just to say, I love my father and I welcome a dream from him. I welcome him, a message from him in dream time. And then don't put any parameters on there. Just allow the opportunity to come. And we can't be forcing that. We can never force that. Dreams, you can predetermine a dream if you'd like by asking. That's one thing that I just mentioned there. You have a request. God and angels, I'm really looking at an opportunity to start a podcast. That's one thing that I've been working on. And is this a good thing? Can you give me a sign? Can we do a sign whether I'm awake or sleeping? But I would like to have a little more insight about this. So that would be one example. And then we just leave it open and say, a message would be good. A guidance would be good. Maybe you will have a dream that shares about what your next step is. And maybe you'll have a dream and you need more confirmation. So you can consult, friends or books about dreamtime awareness and dreamtime understanding. You can consult me. But you always know the truth of the dream. A dream can be, a dreamtime activity can be a lesson for you, and you have had lessons where you do not remember where you went or what you experienced, and that was beautiful. And you woke up and you knew that you were dreaming, and you're not sure what it was all about, but it happened. And in our subconscious dream time, we are going to other realms and experiencing new growth and understanding. And it usually is a way for us to restore. Absolutely, dreaming and sleeping are integral to the human condition. We must sleep. And dream can be something that everyone experiences, or some people say they never dream or they don't recall. And at this point, even if somebody never remembers a dream, there are still lessons that go on in dream time. But just before going to sleep, if you want to trigger or encourage a dream, you can write down a focus that you have. You might ask a question, like what in my life needs attention for this night as I sleep. Lord and angels, what in my life needs attention? And be open. You can also, state an intention, like I will dream about this area in my life. Like I said, I would dream about, a business, and I would like to have some, guidance or insight about my business. I would like to have guidance or insight about my relationships. You can intend that, and then you just clarify what you want. You repeat that before going to sleep. I will have a dream that will bring me awareness about what I need to be more, pay more attention to in my life. I will have a dream about what I need to pay more attention to in my life. I will have a dream about what I need to have more attention to in my life. Something like this, and you just go to sleep with that intention. And then, you might get a visual symbol before you fall asleep. You may, wake up knowing you had a dream, but only remember one thing. And so then you need a little journal beside you where you can write a word or two or three about what seemed to really jump out at you in that dream. Sometimes people, are triggered by to have dreams by maybe using a like using an actual object. Like we can put like this is a rose quartz heart. You can put a rose quartz heart under your pillow and or hold it in your hand while falling asleep, to intend to have more insight about perhaps a relationship in your life and how there can be healing for this relationship. Whether you remember the dream or not isn't as important as the fact that you're going to go in dream time to have some training. Your soul is going to have an experience of enlightenment, and you don't have to remember it on a cognitive level, on a conscious level, in order for it to benefit you. But the next day, the next week, you may get insight and say, I think I'll do this. And this will, because I don't know why I'm feeling I need to do this. For instance, for this question that I had about, the podcast, well, I did keep seeing, microphones. And, whether I saw them in my mind or saw them, out in the world, I kept seeing, this idea of microphones. And so, I was guided to, to purchase a healthy, efficient microphone for my podcast that's coming up next year. That I'm going to start. And so, it was a good brand, and I didn't know what a good brand was. I didn't even know there were brands of microphones. I thought a microphone's a microphone, but no, I received guidance in my waking hours. People are like, oh, you want to try that? You should get this microphone. And I heard it over and over again. So it was guidance that came because I set an intention. Because I asked for guidance from angels about, is this a good idea for me to start a podcast? And then the next thing I know that I'm getting guidance about, the equipment. Some to create even more powerful dream states. Some people, create like a sacred space in their room, or intention in their room, like setting an intention in the room with with maybe a symbol, using an actual piece of inspiration. Like maybe you want to know what you want to be drawing about, or the artistic craft that you have in mind, or a person that you want to connect with, and you may have a picture of them. This kind of thing really supports the connection. And, just as important as nightly dreams are awakening dreams, or dreams that we receive when we're awake. And this gets to the borderline of intuition. We are intuitive creatures. And so you will intuitively receive messages when awake, because you have set an intention for guidance that you wanted. And so again, what we think today creates tomorrow. What you emotionally connect to comes about. So as we're emotionally connecting to wanting to connect with a loved one in a dream state, or wanting to get answers in a dream state about a life action, or wanting to make peace in a family or friends situation with, in a relationship. Those things are intentions, and you're holding those intentions during the day, and you will receive guidance in the night, whether you remember or not, but you will also receive guidance in your waking state. And the waking state, examples are like, you might, get an idea, or like I said, I started seeing, even this idea about microphones. Let's move to interpreting, dreams. Basic dream symbols have been very well documented in many, 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 many books. And so getting a really good, dream symbol book is one step. And then again, remembering one symbol from the dream, like, you had a dream about a group of people and you look up the dream symbol group of people. You had a dream about a spider. And I remember that was like one of the very first dreams that I remember so vividly when I was asking for guidance. And I had the spider scared me. I woke up kind of scared, but again, it was a limiting belief about the spider. And so like I said, okay, let me just look this up. And spider was a good omen. It was, a good happening, a good opportunity coming. Spiders are known for like, oh my gosh, being able to lay, so many eggs, I think they're called. And, there's so many that can spawn from these, from their hatch, their batch, like millions, hundreds of little spiders. And so it's like, one little spider can bring, abundance. And so it was a good omen of abundance. And then also the idea, of its legs and like being able to, see and do, different things. And it was really powerful symbol for me. And so don't always look at the dream symbol books and look at the negative, what this negatively means, but look at, the aspects of the positive. But dream symbol is one. Also, you can get messages, and I'm just going to read my notes here. When you see these messages in a dream, you're really truly getting messages from God. And, sometimes, it's an animal, a bird, a snake, a bear, it can be, clothes, like it can be colors. Like a color like yellow can be about the root, about the sacral chakra. Oh, I'm sorry, the yellow is the right here, the solar plexus, and and working on your solar plexus. Their colors have meanings, to the solar plexus, and the idea of flexibility, adaptability, personal power. And color is very, very influential. Sometimes people have dreams about fire, fire in the house, a fire, coming, a fire around, and fire is about purification, and passion and renewal. So sometimes people have dreams about death, and death is really like life-changing events. It's not always about the death is coming. It quite often is about transition and the death of something ending, something shifting, new beginnings. So it's not about, always about, again, looking at the negative. And if you see somebody, getting in an accident and you're concerned, about this as a premonition, remember the prayer is the most important and most powerful thing you can do. It's like pray for that person immediately upon waking up if you have a premonition dream, because your dreams can be influential in supporting that person. You can give that person a little call and say, oh, I was thinking about you today, and and I was and I want you to know how much I love you, and how's your car doing? And if you had a dream where maybe you saw them get in a car accident, or something, it's like be careful out there today. It's a little bit snowy, a little bit icy. I'm praying for all the drivers, everyone that's out there, all of the travelers today, that kind of thing. We pray in the positive spin, not always our dream for warnings of of encroaching danger or evil. It's usually a caution. Let's see, mountains, a symbol of higher knowledge, of higher, of higher counsel, of obtaining a higher objective. anything to do with the body. Sometimes like our teeth, the digestive system, is, about like your own, taking in, and digesting, something new, being, maybe chewing something a little, more, those kinds of things. Water is always about emotion, and rejuvenation. Sometimes you have a dream about like, a flood, and it's not really, about, a flood as much as it is about, about things flooding in, and you needing to clear out, and rejuvenate, yourself. Traveling, dreams, it can encourage you to travel. They can encourage you to, maybe look at a location, or see something. I have many of those, dreams, actually, and I've been doing soulful journeys, with, small groups of people. And the next soulful journey is to Italy. And, that's this summer. And I did, get a very clear picture about, returning to Italy. I've been there 3 times, but returning to Italy, and I saw that in my vision, and I couldn't get it out of my, mind. And I was like, oh, the next soulful journey to Italy, feels right. And especially to connect, with the Vatican. And I know, like, if some of you are Catholic, or some of you are not, doesn't matter. We're always, like, kind of religious this way with spiritual this way. So, grow. But I had, made a reservation actually for our group to stay closer to the Colosseum in Rome. And then this, week I had very clear guidance of, get to the Vatican, get closer to the Vatican. So I actually changed the whole reservation and even the whole focus of the trip. Instead of starting in Venice, like I thought we were going to do a month ago, we're going to start in Rome, and spend, the first part of our trip in a beautiful Airbnb that's very close to the Vatican, just 10 minutes from the Vatican. And so a 10-minute walk. So, like it's within 6 blocks of the Vatican, and to be in that energy. And so it was very interesting, to me. I revamped everything so that, it's like, okay, that's the main focus. That feels more important. And so I feel like the God calling me and saying, Maria, we want you to go back to Rome, but we want you to spend some time in this area. This is important. And I have found that traveling to different locations has increased my vibration as well, and has brought an awareness of intuition that I could not have attained just maintaining here in Iowa. In meditation, perhaps I can connect with those sites, but having gone to some of the highest frequency vortex and chakra centers of the world, I have continued to align with a purpose that God has intended for me, and more guidance and messages, and my channeling for those guidance and messages continues to open. And so I listen. And I am so grateful for people that are interested in traveling with me as well. So we have a wonderful group going in June, and I just can't wait for that. But traveling, both location and path and journey, traveling is a theme in your dream, and it signals a journey, a new path, or a change in location. So, those are some ideas about symbolism. And I'm just going to touch briefly on problem solving with dreams, and then we're going to say our ending prayer. But problem solving with dreams. So it is a beautiful thing to. We already started with this idea of asking the angels to help you problem solve. Asking for angels to help you. What is it that I need to focus on in life? we can get answers during the day if you are working on your intuition, which I teach regularly with angel decoding classes. I teach people to connect to their intuition. And I'm going to do another angel decoding class, not just for practitioners, but angel decoding for, those that are really interested in expanding their own intuition. And so that's coming this spring. But helping hands from the angels. Angel dreams are vivid and powerful. Sometimes Source uses them to send a specific message to help us out in troublesome situations. And so, you may be awakened, and so you remember, a dream or a situation. You may be guided in a dream, to do something. And like I said, often to traveling, like I will see, places, I will see ideas, and I've had this guidance, from angels and from God, and it's so innate for me, and I've gotten so used to it that I don't even journal about it anymore. I just know it's like, oh, I got to take action, on this. But when a dream is so lucid and so clear, it's a really important one to pay attention to. Those lucid dreams, lucid really means clear, are distinct messages. And sometimes we ask for them, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're guided to them. And it is very important to look at the symbols, to, maybe pick out different pieces of the dream, whatever you can remember, the feelings that you may have had, the symbols that you may have seen, the ideas that you gleaned from them, the colors of the people that might have been involved, and then do a little bit of looking into each of those aspects. And when you don't understand or don't know, then ask for guidance in regards to how am I supposed to really dissect this dream. And is there energy healing that I need to do for myself? Is there healing for others? Is there some balance? Do I need to balance my energy centers here? Do I need to, gain more intuitive awareness? Do I need to do more spiritual growth? Do I need to travel? Do I need to purchase something? Do I need to, expand my creativity and write another book, or do another picture, or add another modality to the healing work that I'm already doing? There could be many pieces that come in dream time, and because our subconscious mind is more awakened there and more aware, and we've allowed the logic resistance to subside, then the purity of the message is the beauty. So that's why we want to trust that. I want to just read a little something from one of the books that I have used for dream interpretation and dream guidance, and that's Angel Dreams, and it was written by Doreen Virtue. I'm sure that it's not even available anymore because she has changed her focus so much. But as Carla Jenigan discovered, angels can send very specific information, offering solutions to problems that dreamers do not even realize they have. If your dream guide and angels feel you need information, they will find a way to give it to you. Sometimes they choose to be direct, such as in Carla's dream, where she was literally being visited by angels. And this is one of my favorites, is when the angels visit. In her dream, Carla saw silhouettes out of the corner of her eye that looked like human figures, lined up in an array of glowing colors. While they didn't have wings or look like traditional depictions on holiday cards or in movies, Carla realized they were angels. Their voices sounded like soft echoes as they discussed several plants, flowers, herbs, and scents. Carla realized she was supposed to be listening to what the beings were saying, but as she focused her attention on them, she herself felt being drawn out of the dream. Before she completely awakened, Carla heard an angel speak very loudly and directly to her. Never wake up without the smell of juniper. Carla tried to go back to sleep to get more information, but to no avail. The message was so loud and clear that she could not ignore it, and she decided to take action right away that morning. She jumped out of bed, dressed, and went directly to the herb shop to purchase juniper essential oil. When she returned home, she researched the meaning of juniper and found the information to be relevant to her. Juniper symbolizes protection and fertility, and also aids in purification and clairvoyance. Perhaps the angels were telling Carla that she needed to open her clairvoyance or purify her mind before her day began. And Carla felt she was already on the path of purpose, enlightenment, and joy. And now, however, smelling Jupiter every morning, she has been into high gear, and she is grateful for the angel dream. So that's a beautiful, impression or story, like that we, may get on a regular basis. It is incredible if we pay attention, if we slow down and really just listen to the subtle messages and the guidance that we get on a regular basis. We will be so much more joyful. And receiving messages both in dream and awake state is easier when our vibrations are higher. And again, I want to reiterate that increasing your vibration can begin with just loving yourself and, being in that presence today in this moment, loving everything that is around you. And that love will just raise your vibration, making it easier for the angels to communicate with you, making it easier for you to serve and direct and lead your life in a more graceful state. And sometimes the messages don't have to be interpreted, they're just known. And so I want to encourage you, to consider that the subtleness that is available to us through God's many means. We can quiet our mind in meditation and receive subtle messages and knowings. We can quiet our mind and relax and completely allow in a dream state. And it's a very, very powerful way of receiving messages. So let me just chat a few other things about dreams that I really don't have time for, but I just want to touch them and tell you you can explore past lives in dreams. You can ignite passion in dreams. You can manifest desires in dreams, manifest desires, and then begin to get little leads about where to go and how to do that. You can shift your shape in dreams and explore. Like you can say, what do I learn if I'm feeling like an angel? What do I learn if I take on the persona of bear? What do I learn if, nightmares, help children to, let things out. And fears, often nighttime fears, daytime fears have to come out in dreams. And it's a really good way to get it out of the body so that they don't manifest into, illness, or they're not putting it deep inside them. And also nighttime healing can occur because of dreams. And premonitions, we talked about, enhancing your intuition, healing yourself and others. You can go in dream time to heal someone that's far away. Your soul can travel and do that. There are so many fun things that we can learn here. I hope that you've enjoyed this opportunity to connect with me in this way. And I know that I will continue to teach. I'm going to be putting this on my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel. It's just Maria Peth. And so if you want to listen to it, again, or if you want to direct somebody else to listen to it, I'm going to be putting this class on my YouTube channel. I put a couple other ones on there as well. But I am expanding that so that there's a place where you can find these free classes. And so you can, expand your own learning, your own growth, your own spiritual growth by listening again or by guiding others. So 30-second commercial, right? Coming up this Saturday in Waverly, Iowa, we have the Sound Healing Bath again from 10 o'clock till noon. You can register at eventbrite.com. If you look at, my name, Maria Peth, P-E-T-H, you can, I would welcome anyone, that's in the area to attend. It's a beautiful opportunity to relax and just receive healing energy through toning, through the crystal singing bowls and gong. We're going to focus on those this time. We have other drums too and things. Also coming up in April, it's not available yet to sign up, but I'm going to send early bird sign up very soon. April 26th through the 28th is the 14th annual Angel Retreat. So April 26th through the 28th, the 14th annual Angel Retreat in Hiawatha at the Spirituality Center there in Iowa. And then I have that request of Angelic Lightworkers. It's just Angelic Light-Workers on Facebook, and make sure that it's the group that I and Kimberly are in, and because there's a couple other copycats that tried to do what we were doing, and they're I think that some people got in the wrong group. So I just want to encourage you to get into that group, okay? Let's take a deep breath and say a prayer, beautiful people. Deep breath. Let out stress. Beautiful Lord, holy angels, our guardian angels, and all of those that have gathered today, we ask for your light. We ask for your healing. We ask for inspiration. We ask for wisdom, and we ask, Lord, for us to be unconditionally blessed in all directions of time and space, with no limits, but with our power. Wonderful and capable beyond our human understanding are we. And we ask that our awareness to this and our fearlessness helps us to approach opportunities, service, guidance, awareness, spiritual growth in many directions, in many ways. We are grateful, Lord, for our health, for our families, for our friends, and for the coming holidays that will allow us to gather with those friends and family members and take time to really feel the love and the blessings. Even if frustration comes up, we are grateful, Lord, for the gatherings. May your light continue to shine brightly through us as light workers, as people that work in service and in love for ourselves and others. In all that we do and all that we are, may we represent love. Today and always, we are grateful, and for you and for this time. Amen. All right. Thank you, all of you. There's 14 of you on today. I'm so grateful for your time. I wanted to say, thank you to Cheryl and Anne and Mary and Reveille. Oh, nice to see you, Mary Hankey and Melanie. And let's see, Susan Burkholtz and Peg and Lynn. Thank you all for being here. Phyllis and Susan, another Susan. Thank you all. God bless you. Keep you safe and sane, and may your holidays be all that you want them to be and more. Look for the blessings in all that you do, people. Bye-bye. God bless you. And now I got to stop right.
Out of the corner of my eye, but it wasn't her. It was a shadow, but I knew it was her spirit. And she emphasized to me the word pleasure. And it was really important. And I said to her my sadness about her leaving. And she said it was her pleasure to transition into heaven.
Oh, is that beautiful?
So,
oh, Sue, thank you for sharing that dream and that vision. How wonderful. I love that. Her pleasure.
And the other thing I just remembered too was that I felt like my body lifted. I was up high, and it was thinking about it. Then after I woke up, it was like how maybe I would feel if my frequency was higher and I was meeting her.
Ah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.